Welcome to this session of Thrythlind's One-Shot Adventures. I am the Game Master, Luke, also known as Thrythlind, and I will be running this session. Over the years, I have collected a large number of different role-playing games, many of which I have never gotten a chance to play, and I am still collecting now. So, I have decided to take up doing these one-shot adventures as a way to try out some of these different systems and see how they work. Some of these systems will be very well known, possibly even popular. A number of them will be obscure and independent offerings. I hope you enjoy all of them equally, and I hope that they all end up performing well. And thank you for joining us. Have a have a good listen. This is the second part of the Kuro one-shot adventure. This one will run for approximately 35-40 minutes. And when last we left, the characters have been chased by wild dogs into the old broken down bus, and they had just managed to close the bus doors against the dogs. And that is where we will pick up. You hear behind you the model kind of waking up after and drop stuff on. It's like, what the hell is going on over here? Where is it? Why is everybody back? Weren't you out getting parts to fix the bus?
John will make sure the bus door is firmly closed and lock security before nodding in thanks to Rin.
I'll smile back. I
Hey,
used to play football in high school.
he chuckles and says, "Hey, where's the guy you went with?"
That is a great question. I have no idea.
Well, I hope the
Where's
dogs
the-
don't find him as well.
Where's the guy she went with? Where's the guy that the other person went? Where's the guy that the electrician lady went with?
Yeah, don't look out the back of the bus, dude.
The
This
hell are you
place is
talking
seriously
about?
creepy.
Okay, as you're saying that, are you guys going to go ahead and compare notes?
Yeah, I'm going to say like that
It,
that workshop on the like upstairs. There was it was a house or something like that, but there was blood stains all around, pictures of this Lolita goth girl, and a circle of salt around what I guess was her bed. It was seriously creepy.
John immediately pulls out that photograph that he took from the cafe and shows it to the biker girl.
it is the same girl.
Yep, exactly like that. Wait, where did you get that?
This was in the cafe. Recognize the guy standing next to her here?
Do I?
It's the bus driver. She's sitting next to the bus driver. Probably almost definitely her father, since you saw a lot of pictures of him around the workshop with her as well.
I think that was the bus driver, and looks like her father too.
Right. Well, while I was in that cafe, I was checking the place around, seeing if I could find like some way we could phone out for help or something. I turn around and there she is standing right there. Now, no way she could have got into the cafe, and she's pointing at this, and he holds up the jar of salt. I take one tiny step forward, boo, she disappears. Do you have any idea what this
Like,
this stuff is used for?
And the salaryman
Cool
speaks
guess.
up, saying, "Salt is used to purify, to cast out demons, and he kind of looks pale of the dead."
who said that?
The salaryman.
Yep, good old sodium chloride.
Like, Rin looks very confused. It's like, what the hell is going on?
As you ask that, you hear a kind of a almost a roar, because and where you are, you can see the models kind of looking at a notebook or something and flipping through pages, looking more and more pissed off at each moment. And eventually, when Rin asks that, he just says, "What the hell is this crap?" And he takes the notebook and kind of almost shoves it in the face of the schoolgirl over near him, pushing her back against the glass window. You can kind of see where her lip is bloody. You're not really sure he meant to hit her, but he just was thrusting this in her face and managed to slam her back
Can I
against.
bitch slap him?
As soon as you get back there, yeah, just a moment. Yeah, go ahead, and anybody wants to make a reaction.
I'll bitch slap him.
Any reaction from John?
John will be right behind Rin, but he'll probably be more concerned that Shiori's okay.
Okay, so Rin, give me your brawl
That's with the 3 dices, right?
Yeah, that's with the 3 dice. Anytime you're unarmed, you're going to use 3 dice.
17.
17? Wow.
Yeah, this rolling an extra d6 is very helpful.
Yep, and it's going to be your extra. You're going to add your strength to it, or you're going to roll your strength. So it's going to be 2d6 damage when you hit it.
So
I found the rules for unarmed attacks, and a punch is you're bitch slapping him, not actually punching him, right?
No, I just want bitch, stop it, poor girl.
Okay, so between the two of you, you push the model further back towards where Anne is, and between Shiori and him, you've got 2 people. He says, "Ow! What the hell? Look at this crap that she's carrying around." And he hands you this notebook with school notebook that says Shiori for show, and the 4 is the number 4, and numerous hearts covering almost every page, and there are a few clippings of articles, and it looks like someone's been kissing them. And Shiori says, "I didn't. That's not mine."
What's in the notebook? Sorry.
Typical schoolgirl crush stuff. Clippings of articles of show with kiss marks.
So what's so weird about it? I don't think I'm getting it.
He's reacting like she's a stalker.
Yeah, John
okay.
John looks at him and says, like, "Dude, come on, you got to be used to fans, right?"
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll, which you are awesome at.
Yep. That is a 14. Can I re-roll the 2?
Yes, you can, because you have expertise. So it's
15.
a 15. And he rolled well. He gets a 17. It's like, well, this is not a fan thing. This is outright freak wacko. I mean, look at this.
I'll smack him again.
Oh, you're going to slap him again? As soon as he says,
Yeah.
Look at this? Okay, go ahead and roll. I'm not going to make you roll. You just slap him again.
It's not hard or anything. It's just like, shut up. You're talking about a girl here. She's scared.
Any reaction from Haruka, who's in that back near where the model is?
No, at the moment they've got it pretty well in hand.
So you slap him again, and everybody please make awareness rolls. If you don't have awareness as a skill, it's just going to be your raw perception.
4.
13.
9.
Okay, so Anne and John, or Haruka and John, as well as Shiori. Rin's looking in the wrong direction, but it looks like almost everybody else is looking towards the front of the bus, where you can see the bus driver is sitting there again, sort of staring out the bus door, and on the other side is the girl from the photo, kind of staring into the bus.
John's going to start whispering a prayer under his breath.
Haruka's going to reach out and take the knife from John's belt.
Okay. So you're seeing the electrician lady take the knife from the belt of the gaijin. The gaijin's starting to pray. So is the salaryman. The model's just sort of looking still offended and kind of glancing over towards the back. And the schoolgirl's looking dead white. And the model's kind of looking back towards the front, saying, "Hey, there you are. Where the hell did you go away to? Rin, what do you do?"
Wait, who said that? Sorry?
The model is saying that. He's pointing
To
past
who?
you towards the front of the bus, saying, "Where did you go to?"
The model
everybody-
he just slapped twice.
Yeah, and everybody else is looking various shades of terrified.
I'm actually going to go to the schoolgirl and kneel next to her and put an arm around her and then look to the driver and freak out too, I guess.
As you look out and kind of start freaking out too, they sort of reach out and start to sort of touch their hands towards the door, and a third shape kind of appears behind the little girl. It's huge. Has to be a minimum of 8 feet tall. You're just getting a sort of a vague, dark, shadowy form. Go ahead, roll perception. If you have spiritual, add spiritual.
Awareness,
No, though, you're adding spiritual. This is not awareness, this is spiritual. Or
Okay.
Shinto or occult would work. Christianity would not.
6. Holy fuck, that's a tall thingy. I just had to run the foot meters on Google.
I got a total of 23.
And Anne, is that an 8, I see?
It is.
Doc, what you're seeing, even though you're not seeing full out features, matches very much with the idea of a Oni. And it doesn't sort of make any it doesn't say any words that you can tell or anything, but it appears behind the gothic Lolita girl, who suddenly looks terrified, and both she and the driver along with her also has this terrified expression, and both she and the driver vanish away. And then that shadowy form just sort of disappears. It sort of mists away, kind of dissolves, taking steps that you can hear. Outside, you can hear the dogs yelping and scattering to different corners. And it's gone in a couple seconds.
John grips the salt container in one hand, like knuckles going white as he gets this sort of focused look of anger on his face. Turns to look at Haruka and says, "What did you find in the mini-mart?"
Dogs, mostly. And Haruka's going to be very carefully not looking back over towards where Monocle fell.
But, well, okay, we have to go. We have to go away from here right now. That's the schoolgirl.
By what sorcery, dear?
What are the dogs doing?
They scattered.
Dogs scattered away for the moment. You don't see any of them outside. You can kind of hear them from elsewhere in the neighborhood kind of yelping and getting further distance.
Did you have a chance to check the whole place? John will ask Haruka.
I didn't even get a chance to get in the door.
All right. Who wants to
We all
come
go
back?
together?
I think some of us should stay here and make sure the bus is all right.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's the model.
Yeah, no, I think you're the one that needs to come with an escort. I don't think we can trust you to sit alone with Shiori, and she's probably not as useful for carrying heavy things.
So, how much salt have I got in this container? Do I have enough to do a small circle up the front of the bus?
Give me a quick spiritual Shinto roll. You could put a barrier of salt. It wouldn't be much use unless you could put it around the entire bus. You could put a small ring that would protect a small group of people, but that's enough to know that you can use it as a projectile weapon, but you only have one shot.
Okay, so I say, damn, I think I've only got enough in this, enough salt here for like one shot.
I'm going
The
to look
minimart?
over to Rin. Is Rin still carrying that club?
The club?
Wrench or something that you picked up.
Yeah.
Can I have that too, please?
Sure. Well, I'll give it to her.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm going to start affixing that chef's knife to the club.
You're gonna fix the chef's knife to the wrench. You're gonna try to create yourself a naginata.
Short spear, whatever. It'll work.
Okay. Why would I go out there? This is the model still talking. Your response to him going out with an escort.
John is going to get up in his face and says, "Okay, big man, do you think you can keep your hands off a little fucking girl?"
Anything from Rin?
I'm just waiting.
Go ahead and roll me intimidation, which
A
I
skill
know.
that I'm not good at.
Yeah, but one that Rin is decently good at. And she has boost with that, so she actually rolls 3d6 because it's based off charisma. 3d6 plus 5 for Rin, and 2d6 plus 0 for John.
6.
But you re-rolled a 6.
Oh, this is true.
14.
14. So
I would
I'm
just like to point out I rolled a 4 for the exploding 6.
Yeah, I see that. I think the standard rules on exploding is 4 still counts as 0. Expertise is an exception to that. But I'm going to go ahead and go with 4 adding in for now. Because I don't want to take the time to look at it. It's a minor thing. So that's 10. And that's 14, and I'll roll his willpower.
I will accept that.
And yeah, he kind of glances between you and Ren, gets very kind of sweaty, and says, "Fine, fine. But she goes first." And jabs a finger towards Ren. Are you guys
Okay.
ready?
Once the knife club's assembled, I'm going to hop back up and turn to Sho. I wouldn't give, orders and stuff. I mean, she just kicked a wild dog in the face so hard it flew 5 meters, and I'm carrying a weapon. As far as I can tell, you're just pretty.
And let me tell you, that dog was prettier than you. A question. The minimart is a supermarket?
No, it's like a corner store. You know,
Okay.
convenience store.
Yeah, the kind of place where they would have salt?
Yeah, they might have salt there.
That's what I was thinking.
I'll point that out. Okay. So
Okay.
minimart and...
I would also like to point out Japanese food so salty we could probably hit him in the face with a pot of ramen or something. Sorry.
That's horrible.
um,
Okay, go ahead and you start opening it forward. You open the. I assume you're opening the door, and it doesn't look like anything pops out. How are you proceeding to the mini mart? Because the model guy Show, because you can tell his name Show based off what the writing that he freaked out about in the newspaper clippings on the notebook. Show is being very resistant and moving rather slowly when you get him out.
Yeah,
I'll walk just behind him, and I won't slow down. So every time he does slow down, he's going to get a little jab in the kidneys.
Oh, so all three of you are going along with Show, and you're leaving. Okay, the salary man and the girl on the bus. Got it. Okay.
I'll go first then, trying to see whatever is ahead. Which is probably a bad idea since I don't have any perception skills, but
I will be right behind Rin.
Okay.
And I do have fairly good perception skills, so I am keeping an eye out for that shadowy bastard.
By the way, deception is the base skill for lock picking. So when you get up to the mini mart, you find what Haruka found and Hiroshi found before. All three of you kind of notice the body of the man that had come in with you. It's barely recognizable. Go ahead and give me a perception skill. This would be awareness. Give me an awareness roll.
we all roll, right?
1.
It's just going to be for you. It's just going to be 2d6 because you don't have an awareness roll skill.
Yeah, 11. Do you have to tell you when we roll 4? Like, is that important?
No, well, I'm not using the rule of where too many 4s is critical failure. That's an optional rule. I'm trying to keep things simple. I'm also tamping down the number of the supernatural powers that I'm using just to make things go smoother.
Okay,
So that-
11 then.
That was a total of 18.
That's still plenty enough to notice a glint of metal out, kind of next to the body, and it's very clearly a gun of some kind.
Yeah, John will pick that up sort of gingerly and say, well, who knows how to shoot?
Is it covered in blood and gore?
Yes, it is.
Does he have any spare mags for it?
If you look at it, it is, let's see here, Haruka, you're able to identify that it is a magnetic gun, and let me check to see if those use ammo. Yeah, those do not use ammo. So, Haruka, you're able to tell that that's a shock gun. It will not use ammo, but it doesn't do lethal damage either.
I will pass this.
What would the skill for firearms be?
It's called firearms.
Okay. Can I ask a couple questions about skills now that we're talking about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the difference between hand-to-hand and brawling?
Hand-to-hand is the base skill. Brawling is a specialty.
So why would I have both?
Hand-to-hand is the base skill. You need to use it to get the brawling. And the brawling, you have it's basically your character spent 3 points on hand-to-hand, and then spent 5 specialty points on brawling.
Okay, got it.
So basically, if you're doing wrestling, you don't get the brawling. If you do improvised weapons, you don't get the brawling bonus. If you try to pull off martial arts stuff, you're not going to get the brawling bonus. As long as you're just doing basic, I'm just a Street Fighter type action, you are a kick-ass fighter.
And what's magnetodynamic?
Magnetodynamic is basically hover bikes.
Okay. Okay, I'm done. Go on.
Okay. So you're going to go ahead and pick up the shotgun, John?
Yeah. Oh, it's a shotgun, is it?
Shock. Like
Shock.
an electricity.
Shotgun, I get you. Rin isn't currently armed, is she? Oh, she's got a knife.
She's also much better when she's unarmed, but she does have a knife.
Right. I think I will keep the shotgun since I don't have any weapons now.
How common would be for a Japanese to don't know, like to tell that John is from somewhere English speaking, but don't know where it is from, where he's from?
It's pretty easy to tell that he has an English-speaking accent. You probably can't identify the country since you're not as educated as some of the other people around here.
Yeah, but I was just thinking like some sort of common, like you Americans are supposed to be good with weapons, right?
John snorts and said, "Sorry, honey, I'm Australian."
Isn't that the same, but with more kangaroos?
Oh yeah, I learned how to shoot fighting off drop bears.
So you see the same thing that Haruka and Hiroshi discovered when they were first here. that the mini mart is not just locked, it is chained up. It looks like it's still something that you can try to pick the locks on if you want to. It doesn't look like the rust has gotten to the locking mechanism, so it should still be possible to lockpick if you have the deception skill anyway.
I'll give it a try then. With what stat does it go?
I'm going to say dexterity, so for you that's 2.
2. And that's a 2. Plus deception, that's 5.
5. Yeah, you're not getting anywhere on this.
So John will, as Rin's doing that. By the way, name's John.
Rin, I'll say over my shoulder as I'm working on it.
Haruka, if you can't get that, there is a hole in the weatherboard in the back.
And you kind of have to gingerly go around the savaged dead body. And can I get a willpower roll from everybody, please?
6.
You rolled 3d6 plus 6, right?
I didn't know it was plus 6, but in that case it's 12.
Okay. When I ask for a straight stat roll, you're going to add double your stat to the roll.
Okay.
Yeah, we both got 7. Oh dear.
And actually, yeah, 7, because that 4. So Doc and Anne are both kind of hesitant and really slow in trying to find a way to get as far around away, trying to avoid touching or seeing the dead body as much as possible. Even though you went and got the gun out of it, it was kind of a little bit further away. But Rin, of course, you have seen street pizza before, so this is not too horrible. And there is, as Haruka said, there is a small hole in the back. Either Haruka or Rin could fit through. It looks like somebody's tried to make it a little bit bigger, but they didn't do a very good job at it.
Could we use the club/spear to make it bigger? Like use the battlefield?
Yeah, I'll have a go at smashing out some of the bit of extra space so John can get through too.
Give me a lever strong enough and a fulcrum hard enough.
Indeed. And I'll go ahead and let you... This is going to be strength rather than dexterity, but I'll let you use the pole arms for that. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus your 5.
No!
And that is a 6. Go ahead and roll 2d6 damage.
They built these to withstand earthquakes, you know.
So 3 damage. It doesn't look like it. She doesn't chip that much off in the first go. It takes her a while, and all of you are sort of aware of a kind of a prickly sensation at the back of your the back of your necks as she's working at it. But eventually, she does get it wide enough for you to get in.
Is there anything behind us?
Not that you can see.
I'm so building myself a ramen catapult, and I get in the building.
Okay. Who goes in next?
I'll go in next. I'm going to start rifling through the mini-mart shelves for anything that could be either designed to be or jury-rigged into replacing some of the defunct parts of the bus.
I'm going to sort of waggle the shotgun at Sho, indicating he should get his ass inside.
Okay, so Rin and Haruka are already in. Okay, give me an empathy roll real quick.
Me?
Yes, John.
7.
You have, what is empathy a part of real quick? Give me a moment.
Communication?
Probably is, let me double check.
It is, I have skill in it.
Okay, so your communication skill would add
Oh, yes, so that would be 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, you see him gathering himself up to try to shove you. Go ahead and roll initiative. He does not get a surprise round. He rolled 1-1-1. The only thing worse he could have done is roll 4-4-4.
Yep. What was initiative again?
Your reaction, REA, in dice plus double your reaction. So in your case, it's, I believe, 3d6 plus 6.
Plus 6, yes. So that is 12.
And he gets a 22.
He goes first.
He does go first. And he's going to go ahead and try to shove you over. So that's going to be a strength roll. And your defense, I believe, is 12.
Yep.
And double ones again. He misses. Your reaction?
I'm going to taser his ass.
Okay. Roll the dexterity, please. 2d6, because you don't have firearms.
6s explode.
I know, I was typing. I've got to type it out every time. 13.
Yeah. Okay. Now go ahead and roll the 4d6 and add 5 damage to that.
Do 6s explode still?
I'll go ahead and say yes, because I don't want to look it up right now. Yeah.
29?
You zap him, and he just falls out flat unconscious, almost face first into the dead body. So the two of you in the mini mart hear a little scuffle and then a zap. And John?
You also hear a loud sigh and someone saying "murd."
I'll poke out my head and say, balls. We should at least put him inside. We wouldn't want dogs to eat his face, would we?
I suppose not.
Alright, we can drag him in.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to. It's not exactly easy to drag him inside, but you get it done. Okay, go ahead and give me, base it off of investigation, search rolls of the mini mart.
So intelligence investigation or perception investigation?
I'll let you do either. This is kind of active, so both kind of work.
It's
Use
not
the highest.
awareness?
Awareness would be if you were to notice something without deliberately looking at it.
I see.
Oh, is this
11.
This is searching.
I rolled 5.
a lemon?
Did you get anything, Rin?
11.
I'm imagining John right now on guard for Oni and in my head shouting, I rolled a 5! Sorry, too much order of
dear.
the stick.
Yes.
Okay. So the mini mart has been almost picked clean. I think professionally. It looks like whatever company owned it, probably picked out most of the stuff. You do find a lot of unsold newspapers and some things here and there, including those two articles are very prominent in some of the a lot of the unsold newspapers you find. Other than those, while you're reading that, you find some spoiled foodstuffs, spoiled or at least out of date since you can't tell when it's in a can, and a few cheap plastic toys. You are able to find one more full vial of salt. The summary of the two articles, one is about dated 9 months ago, and it's about a man attacking a possessed girl. Some guy decided to attack a girl in gothic the police think he fixated on her gothic clothing, and he blamed her for a demon that had been haunting him for the last few months. And she was reported to have responded, I didn't ask for him. I don't want him. The second article is about a man who was brutally murdered. It was the Sasaki-san, the local bus driver, and he's still grieving over the recent suicide of his daughter. And it looks like the residents assumed that he had been abusing her for some reason. And despite the fact that there was no medical records or any suspicion or anything at all lending toward the idea that he was being abusive to her, there's just a history of her being depressed and lots of medication in that regard. They blamed him, assumed he was abusing her for some reason, and brutally killed him. A lot of them were arrested for the crime, and then the area just became abandoned after that.
So, we were driven here by a dead guy, and you were greeted by his dead daughter. Can we get away from here?
Can we get the Oni to let go of the girl?
Sorry here, Captain Charity. I'm much more interested in getting home myself.
Go ahead and give me a roll. It can be either Shinto or Occult, since I know they're both the same anyway.
Since you're saying they're both the same anyway, I assume you mean that their stats are the same on Doc's sheet.
On Doc's sheet, yeah. And that's a 5 plus 4, it's 9. Yeah, you're not entirely sure. You're not entirely sure how to get away from the Oni. But at this point, you have 2 bottles of salt, and you haven't found any more parts. So Ren, you do remember that you yourself never got to look at the parts that were in the workshop. You went upstairs and left the other guy to go looking around.
There's also the place we haven't been.
If we haven't found anything here, maybe we should check the workshop. I didn't have the chance to go into their part, and there is someone we're missing. Maybe we'll find him here. I'm guessing he was hiding while the dog attacked. Maybe we should go and tell him that it's clear now.
Probably should drop off Pretty Boy back at the bus too.
Well, I don't want to carry him, so I'm for that.
Yeah. I'll help you.
I'll have one last look around the mini-mart for anything resembling soybeans.
Soybeans?
Soybeans! I'll tell you what, go ahead and roll me 2d6, and I'll see. That is no. You find some rotten soybeans.
We totally need more soybeans.
So we take him between John and me, I guess?
Yeah, that would sound reasonable.
Before taking him, I'll pat him down, see if he has anything useful on him. Like,
John-
I don't know.
John will mutter something about sexual harassment.
He has a pod with a gantai, which, if he's a celebrity, you could probably sell for something. He has hair products, and he has a mirror.
Mirror?
He has a mirror.
I'll take that. That's maybe useful. And when John makes the comment about sexual harassment, I'll like unbuckle his belt.
Unbuckle John's belt?
And no, the unconscious guys. And tie his hands with it.
Kinky.
You wouldn't know it.
But yeah, Show's equipment list is the girliest of the lot. And I'm speaking stereotypical girliest. Even the schoolgirl is not as girly as Show's equipment list.
The hair products aren't useful for anything, are they?
I'll say that your basic level of physical sciences, and if you didn't have it, Haruka definitely did. If you can find a lighter or something, you could make a flamethrower out of it.
I have physical sciences 3.
Yep.
Is that a lot? Like, that's quite a lot, right? I mean, it's not amazing, but it's like...
3 is the minimum to unlock the more specific skills like electrical engineering and all that. So it's decent.
I'll throw the hair products to John then and say, you can make a flamethrower with us if you get a lighter.
To who, sorry?
To you.
Oh.
As I'm taking his stuff, it's like I'll throw that to you.
Well, he already has a
Also, so it
shotgun.
doesn't- Yeah, but I'm taking this guy's valuable stuff, so just so it doesn't look that bad, I'm giving the useful stuff to him.
Got it.
Okay.
It's like I give him the hairspray, and I'm pocketing the whatever that was that I don't remember the name.
The pod and the gantai, his personal computer, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll look to the celery man and say, hey, mate, have you got a lighter?
I did this
Yes,
before we moved him.
Actually,
But
and he goes, "Why? Do you need us? Do you want us? Do you smoke?"
No, I'll hand him the hairspray and say, if you point this at something, hold the lighter up underneath it and spray, it's like a flamethrower. You know, just in case.
That'll be useful. Thank you. And you're just going to leave him in here like this? He's pointing to Show.
We can stick him in the baggage compartment.
No, we're not. No, we don't want to, like, I feel he's gotten shocked. I think we can leave it there.
Aw, I wanted to stick him in the luggage compartment.
Okay.
Well, I think Kohi can, keep an eye on the bus, the guy, and Shiori.
And looks like he's borrowed a marker or something from Shiori. There are some Shinto marks on the bus. You don't know if they'll do anything, but you're probably guessing from his commentary about the salt that he's responsible.
Yes, well, awesome. I'll pull out one of the charms I keep in my pocket and sort of hand it to Kohi.
He looks at it and says, "This is not terribly bad work. You bought this from one of the shrines, didn't you?"
I shrug a little and say, I kind of helped them make them, for rice.
I see. I wanted to be a priest at one point. My family thought I should have a proper job. Maybe you can get some use out of that.
It's got to be better than nothing, right?
Well, you're heading over that way. He points towards the workshop. Good luck.
I'll nod.
So, how are you proceeding to the workshop? Everything's pretty much within sight of each other right now. So,
I think same marching order aside from show.
Yeah.
Haruka?
I agree.
Okay. So you get over towards the workshop. There is an old fuel pump, petrol pump. It looks like you could repair it if you wanted to, if you tried to. There might be some fuel inside that you could put into the bus.
Did it run out of fuel?
You don't know. You don't think so, but there is at least fuel inside. And you saw a fuel can for, like the carry along fuel cans. You saw one in the shop inside. But what kind of catches your eye, all three of you, is as you get to the door, is there's like a kind of a bunches of papers sort of nailed to the framework of the door, which has been busted in earlier when Rin was here with the last member of your group. It looks kind of like a file folder and a bunch of scattered paper, some of which have fallen out.
Yeah, John's definitely got the shotgun in one hand, the salt in the other. Was I carrying both doses of salt, or did we spread those out?
So far, you're carrying both
Okay.
because I didn't know who had taken that. Anybody else reacting to? Oh, you're taking them both out,
No, just one dose of salt in my left hand.
and the shotgun in the right. What is everybody else doing?
I'll go forward and cautiously pick up the papers.
They seem to be a police file pointing out Rin as a police informant.
I picked those one up earlier.
No, you still have
Like
the
you
ones
gave
you picked up.
Oh, they are the same?
With the exception that the ones that you picked up name the other guy as a police informant.
Oh, sorry. Who are these talking about?
These are talking about you.
Am I a police informant?
Not as far as you know.
Well, if she shows them to me, I guess I'll react.
I will show them.
I'll read the files, see what they say.
It gives a basic rundown of it's related to several different jobs that went south that you know of, and just naming you as someone who pointed out, couriers that got picked up, stuff like that. It's just naming you as someone that leaked the information to the cops, and there's kind of receipts of how much you were paid for it and stuff like that.
But it's not true.
As far as you know, no.
Well, I mean, I would remember if I had told them that, right?
Yeah, it's 100% false.
This is bullshit.
Why would those be here?
I don't know. I'll take the ones I picked up earlier and I'll compare them.
It's
Basically,
pretty
open
much
my jacket and
it's pretty much the exact same information, with the exception of there are a couple of other more important things that went wrong, since he has more access than you do to the organization, that are laid at him as being an informant. But it's the same formats, the same officers. Sometimes it's the same events.
stuff too.
Yep.
These are fake. What the fuck?
And are you showing it between the two of you, the three of you?
I'm just checking them myself, but I'm not hiding them. So if any of them looks, they will see it.
Well, when Rin says these are fake, I'm going to point out, that's exactly what Shiori said about the documents Sho was blowing up over.
Oh.
You don't think that the thing might be trying to fuck with us, do you?
It is traditional. Now we really need some soybeans.
It can fake documents?
I meant
Roll your Shinto.
That would be 9.
Yeah, Onis can pull off a lot of tricky crap like that. They are not the dumb brutes people think they are all the time. In fact, most of the time.
If Kazuki's... I look to Rin and say, if that guy in the white suit is who I think he is, I hope he hasn't read any of these.
Oh, balls. Do I know the guy's name?
You do not. You did not know exactly who you were. There was no names being exchanged. Safer that way. He didn't even know which of your biker girl gang he was going to be meeting.
Okay. Well, I'll call out. Yo, white suit guy, are you around?
Okay, everybody, please give me an awareness roll. Flat perception if you don't have awareness. If you have investigation, you can add that because it is a base skill. I've been screwing over Haruka on that because I keep forgetting to say that. Sorry about that.
13.
6.
I'll re-roll the 1.
Cool. Oh, yes.
Of course.
Actually, an expertise re-roll the 4 is not a 0. So
that's right. Good.
So that's
10.
a 10 for you.
I can't believe I got the highest roll.
What was your roll? 13.
Yeah.
None of you can see anything when you start calling in.
So there's no answer?
There's no answer except for a gunshot.
Here in the shop?
And it's just a moment. I need to look up the range because ranged attacks are based off of what range you're at, not at the defense of the person being shot at. If you guys were aware, you could have taken a jaw Jackson, but you were not aware. Okay, so Rin, you get shot in the leg and take 17 hits, which is past your serious wound threshold, so it goes through your leg, and you have a -1 to dice until that gets healed.
Okay.
The answer you get from white suit guy is suddenly a bullet goes through Rin's leg. Thank you for listening to this session of Thrythlin's One-Shot Adventures. I hope you enjoyed listening to us play this game, and that it has encouraged you to try to give some of the more obscure and independent games that are on the market a little bit of a try. Following this message, there will be credits related to the specific company or game that was featured in today's session, as well as any visual media that were used to give a little bit more atmosphere to the published session. By the way, there are 2 levels of difficulty suggested for this adventure.
Oh,
Yep. One is, basic normal difficulty. The other can best be described as the grudge.
Oh, good.
that's what I figured. It's already pretty deadly. We were lucky we had a red shirt.
Oh dear.
Okay, technically weapon damage does not explode and the 4 she rule does not apply either.
Cool.
That's okay.
I like the adventure and everything so far. I think possibly could be better done in other systems, but the system's not bad.
They could very easily have better formatted the book to be easier to find rules.
It's from what I've seen of it, because I picked it up off the shelf and read it a couple of times. It's a very pretty book.
The art is wondrous. The fluff is very good. It's a beautiful setting. It is a decent to good system. I kind of find their formatting a little bit of a trouble sometimes, but that's my main issue with it.
I probably like it a little better than Call of Cthulhu because it's not percentage dice.
The exploding allows some decent awesomeness to occur.
Mm. The 4 thing is a little annoying.
Because usually
But
that's a decent thing, usually, but yeah.
Yeah. Although, it does put the players under a bit more pressure, so might be a good thing for the game.
I have seen a couple of role-playing systems based off Japanese mythology, including, Legend of the Five Rings. This is really the only one I know that has put the 4 thing into a mechanic.
Well, my thought process here is that it kind of suits because it is a horror game.
Definitely agree.
The only thing is we need to roll more dice because there needs to be the possibility of rolling 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 6, 4.
I'm going to go ahead and ask which obscure piece of Japanese lore you got that number from.
It's the Shinigami's phone number from Solo.
Oh, lovely.